Hey, what's up, guys? So, today we're going to talk about self esteem. So, we're all born with infinite amount of self esteem when we are born, and somewhere down the line, we lost it and we do not know how. Like when you were a child, you remember how confident were you when you're walking, isn't it? But now you are not walking with the same amount of self esteem as when you walked as a child. So, what happened in the journey? Something must have gone wrong in the past, isn't it? So, when we were a child, we were full of, we were filled with self esteem. And then later, we've been told by our parents that I can't give you full attention. I can't meet all of your needs. I can't meet all of your demands. They're very excessive. Then later, you went to school. Then in the school, you fell in the trap of comparison. Like the teachers tell you, Vishnu, you're not good at maths. You're not good in English. You're not good at social studies, science. Then the belief enters into your brain that I'm not good enough. That is a sign, the first sign of downfall of your self-esteem. Then later you appear your exams, then you get a report card, you go to your parents, you get 90%, and you take that report card to your parents. Your father sees it and he says, your brother has scored more than you. He scored 95, 100 marks, and you are like 90. You then you feel like, oh, my brother is better than me. I'm not good enough. Even the teachers tell that this guy is better than you. Why aren't you performing well? You're not good enough. Then the beliefs get even and even more, and you feel even more filled with low self esteem, low self confidence. You don't feel you're worthy, you don't feel you're deserving, you don't feel you're deserving of anything. And then later you go to college, and there you see those school kids, and you feel like you want to be accepted by them, and you try different things like alcohol, drugs, and many other things to get accepted by them, because we're all social beings. We all have the desire to get connected. We all have the desire to feel, to be a part of community. It's our survival mechanism. And then, because of this instance to be deeply accepted by people, when we get accepted by people, there is a sense of happiness in the end. You feel you're worthy, you feel you are good enough when you feel accepted, isn't it? If those cool kids doesn't accept you, you feel rejected. If that girl, if that cool girl didn't accept you, you feel rejected. Your entire self-esteem is broken down, isn't it? Then, even though the drugs and alcohol aren't of your values, just because you want to get accepted, just because you want to fit into the cool kid community, You go against what your heart desires. You just go against yourself. And that is a downfall of even more self-esteem. And then you come outside of your college. Now you're done with your college, and now you observe yourself and you see yourself, dude, why am I not confident? Why am I not filled with self-esteem? Why? Have you seen, like, look at the past. The, it is full of downfalls, isn't it? And because of the past, we have formed many limiting beliefs about ourselves, many disempowering beliefs about ourselves. And because of that beliefs, it doesn't let us feel we are worthy. It doesn't let us feel that we are lovable. And where have you been yourself? You always put on a mask. You have been always someone else. You do not know yourself at all. So you're confused. And that even more, it doesn't help to build the self-esteem. So, how do we build self-esteem? And the first thing is like acceptance. Self-acceptance is the key to self-esteem. So, we need to learn how to accept ourselves. You wake up every day, when you go brush, you look at in the mirror and you see yourself, ah, you don't have enough hair, Vishnu. You don't look good enough. You're not dressing well. Oftentimes, we are the biggest judge of ourselves. We are the worst critic of ourselves. We are the first judge. Before other people judge you, you judge yourself. And you judge yourself that you don't look good enough. Your hair doesn't look good enough. Oh, you're losing your hair. You're dark. Your skin is getting old. And you carry that judgment in your head. And you go to the world, to the reality. And you wonder why people are saying you don't look good enough, you don't look confident enough. Because people always tell what you project. Because you're walking with the belief that you don't look good enough and you're projecting that to the external world, and people sense that. And naturally people will tell you. So it is very important for us to accept ourselves. See, we're all not perfect. We're all imperfect. We all have flaws. Accepting your imperfections, accepting your flaws, doesn't mean you're not willing to become the better version of yourself. But it's a foundation, accepting yourself. You should know where you are. Only then you'll know who to become. Your imperfections and flaws are what makes you. The world doesn't need perfect beings. Like when, okay, we are imperfect. So what is your idea of being perfect? Do you know what does the perfect look like? In reality, the world doesn't need perfect people. Do you know who are perfect? Robots, dolls, they are perfect. The dead is perfect. We're all imperfect. You are imperfect. I am imperfect. And that is what makes us beautiful. That is what makes us unique. That is what makes us who we are. Your imperfections tell your journey. Your imperfections make you who you are. Isn't it? The world doesn't need perfect people. The perfect people doesn't have emotions. They do not have love for humanity. They do not live life. They live a dead life, the perfect people. So it is our imperfections which makes us unique. So let us embrace our imperfections, because your imperfections tell your story, tell your journey of transformation. So embrace your imperfections. And the next way to improve your self-esteem is comparison. Stop comparing yourself to others. It's never healthy. Unfortunately, the society didn't have a template for people on how to be themselves. So that's the reason we do not know how to be ourselves. Then we see other people and we tend to copy them. The society has conditioned 9 to 5 job, corporate job is the way to life, financial freedom, travel, money, marriage. This is how you need to live life. And your heart desires something, but you do not know anything else than what society has told you. So you're forced to work in a job which you do not love. And no wonder you are not content with yourself, not fulfilled with yourself, because you have gone against what your heart desires. And you look on the news media, Instagram, news feed, all of it, and you see someone, they're doing a business, and you think, oh, this sounds really good, and this is what I should also do, and you go and you do it, and the one who is doing it is successful and you're not, and you start to compare yourself to him. You start to compare yourself in the journey of the game you're playing which you don't love. You're not loving the game you're playing, and you're comparing yourself to the person who is loving the game, and that's not acceptable, isn't it? So it is very important for us to understand. It is very important for us to focus on what do you have and what do you want. Most people focus on what do they don't have and what do they not want. Instead, focus on what do you want, what do you love. Just throw out the garbage of what society has told you. Just let it go. Just focus on yourself. Prioritize your heart first. Once you know what do you love, then slowly you'll understand your own unique journey. Then you do not care. Then slowly you'll find out what you love, and you start to make baby steps towards that journey on what do you love. And now you're playing your own game. And when you're playing your own game, there is no one else. There is no competition. You are the competition. You becoming your best self is a competition. And that's a lovely journey to be in. Not playing the game you do not love to play. So, and the next step to improve your self-esteem is like be your own best friend. When I say be your own best friend, it's like observe how do you talk to yourself. Like Most people, when they talk to themselves, are they praising themselves or are they criticizing themselves? Like happy people, successful people praise themselves. They say, Vishnu, you're awesome. You're wonderful. You are mind blowing. You are awesome. You do, you are so good at what you do. You are excellent. That is a self talk that happy persons, successful people have within themselves, and that is what makes them successful. Whereas depressed people, unhappy people say, "Oh, I'm not worthy. Why is life not going to, not going my way? Why do they not accept me?" You go on gossiping about others. You go on gossiping about yourself. You do not encourage yourself. You are your worst enemy. Man, that is very bad. Like, imagine you saying that to other people. Do you think they would want to be with you? Definitely not. Obviously, when you tell to yourself, you do not like yourself, you do not want to be with yourself, when you have such negative self-talk, you always want to engage with Netflix, cell phone, Instagram, all of it. But when you have a good positive self-talk, you can be with yourself. You're happy with yourself, you're content with yourself. And that is the way we need to be. And if others criticize you, it is understandable. Maybe they are having a rough day. Maybe they are unhappy people. Maybe they are just stupid people, man. It is understandable when others criticize you. It's their fault, They're unhappy people and obviously they speak unhappy shit. And don't let that in. Don't let that affect your self-esteem. It is an opinion of themselves. They're telling to you. And yeah. So it's very important to not criticize yourself. Do you know what affects you the most? Other people criticizing you doesn't affect you more than you criticizing yourself. Because when you criticize yourself, your mind doesn't understand it. Your mind is like mind blown. It doesn't understand. It will be like confused. It will think, oh, this is reality. When you have a negative self-talk with yourself, oh, I am depressed, I am not worthy of yourself, then the mind is forced to believe that. And you be that being. And obviously, you don't feel good about yourself when you have a negative self-talk. So with that, I conclude the video. So I'm not here to teach you about self-esteem. I'm here to let you know that you are a diamond. There is a diamond within you, and if you don't polish it, it's your fault. So it's very important to recognize that there is a diamond and work on polishing it. And good luck on improving your self-esteem. And I want you to know, whoever is watching this video, you are awesome. You know it. You are wonderful. You are mind-blowing. And you are excellent. So just try to make use of the comment section by, just write whatever you feel about yourself. Just write some positive affirmations, or else write your self-talk. Yeah. How do you talk to yourself? Just write it down in the comment section. I'll be happy to read it out. And good luck. See you.